Some believers have become more focused on what God can do for them than who God is for them. More focused on God's hand than on God's face. The word presence in Hebrew is literally translated as face. So living in the awareness of God's presence is living face to face with Him on the inside, even as we encounter others on the outside. God's face being our home base. The secret place. It's possible to be more enamored by somebody's presence, presents, gifts, than that person's presence, presence, their closeness and relationship with them. Many children are excited to receive gifts on birthdays and Christmases, but may not be as excited to enjoy time with the giver of the gift if a relationship has not been established. I've been seated in a room where the speaker had a lot of power, and as a result of that power, people felt electric shock bolts and smelled supernatural fragrances from heaven, saw sparkles of light in the air, angel feathers falling, gold dust manifesting on people's faces, manna appearing in the pages of people's Bibles, and beautiful gemstones discovered on the ground, dropped from heaven, of real worth and value when taken to professionals to have them appraised. We could feel the power in the room, but that doesn't mean that we knew the speaker. That doesn't mean we had a close or intimate relationship with them. We can all get excited by phenomena in a spirit-filled meeting where the presence of God is very strong, even manifesting a visible glory cloud in the air. We can be knocked down or slain in the spirit, as people say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we are in love with Him. I can be in somebody's presence and by the power may feel their authority and energy in a very obvious way. May even affect our emotions or our mental state. Perhaps someone famous. But that doesn't mean that we're in a close relationship with that person. It is vitally important for Christians to make this crucial distinction. We are not in love with the gifts, but with the giver. There is a huge difference between the two. I would rather be out in the dark parking lot, sitting quietly in the grass somewhere with Jesus, than in a meeting where all kinds of fantastic, amazing things are happening, but lacking a deep connection with Jesus. If there is no intimate relationship, there is no enjoyment of His tangible presence. There is an old story of a king who wanted to show favor to a group of people. So he invited them into his palace and told them they could take anything that he owned. They could take anything from his palace that they were able to carry. Many chose fine clothing, fine jewelry, fine works of art. But there was a young woman who waited, and the king approached her, reassuring her of his promise that anything she could carry out of his palace would be hers. And so she moved toward the king himself and lifted him onto her shoulder and carried the king out of the palace. As we learn to choose God as our one prized possession, as our highest priority, as our most enjoyed and favored relationship above all else, then all that he has is freely ours. When we choose the king above all that the king has, everything the king has comes with him.